everyone, welcome to Minimal Mindful Mama. Today we're going to be decorating for fall. I have a couple really fun DIYs that I'm excited to try, and we're going to be putting out some other little fall and somewhat Halloween decorations as well. So this should be a really fun video. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to DIY this fall, and let's jump right in. My first fall DIY project is that I'd like to try to make a wreath. So if you've been watching my previous videos, you know that I went thrifting and I was trying to find some kind of a fall wreath to put on my front door, and I was unsuccessful in finding anything that I liked. However, I remembered that I had these wreath circles that I had bought previously. They had come in like a 3-pack and I hadn't used all of them. And so I went through to see what kind of fall florals I had, since I remembered I had a couple from last year. So I found this sunflower and this kind of bunch of wheat, and I'm going to try to create something that I like that I can hang on my front door. I'm just going to be using some neutral colored yarn and kind of wrapping and tying it to the frame. I'm going to test it out. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I do kind of wish that it hung more to the side, but I know that because of the weight and gravity, that probably won't really work. I'm going to try to make it hang more to the side though and see how that will work. So I tied a little spot around the top, hoping that that would kind of help to hold it more in place. But it didn't do what I had hoped that it would, so I think I'm just going to have to be okay with it being more towards the bottom than up the side. It really just made it uncentered on the door, and I would prefer it to be centered on the door and more towards the bottom than otherwise, so we're just going to leave it how it is. I was pretty happy with how this turned out, but after a few days, I realized that the color of the wreath circle itself really kind of blended in with the door, and I didn't really like how low contrast it was. And so I remembered that I had some black ribbon from another project, so I am going to try to wrap the entire circle in the black ribbon. I also think I'm going to use the ribbon to kind of make a bow at the top, and that'll give it some visual interest and maybe help out with it being more towards the bottom that I was unhappy with the day before. Something else that I did that I'm really happy with is the top of my piano. I just grabbed some books off of my normal bookshelf that were shades of orange and brown and black, and tried to stack them to try to bring out those colors in the living room. And I love how it turned out. I think it looks so cute with the little diffuser, and it just is very like Harry Potter and fall themed, and I absolutely love that. And it's something that you could do for any season. You can just look on your bookshelf for books that have bindings in the colors that you're wanting to draw out in the room for that season. And it's a really easy way to decorate and bring that little pop of color without having to buy anything new. The next thing I'm going to do is try to make a ghost out of a tomato cage. I've been seeing these cute DIY ghosts all over Instagram and TikTok or wherever, and I think they're pretty cute. But a lot of people make them using a foam ball on top of a tomato cage, but I only want to use items that I already have, so I don't want to have to buy anything for this project. So I was going to use a tomato cage, and I was trying to rack my brain to figure out what something round I could use for the top. I didn't really want to use a ball because I didn't want to have to puncture the ball, and I wasn't really sure how I would attach it. But then I remembered that we had this extra bike helmet that we don't use for our kids that I kind of just keep on hand since it's older, in case we have a friend over or something and they need to use a helmet. So I'm going to use that. It already has the holes in the top, which I think will be perfect to kind of feed the tomato cage into, so I don't have to actually attach it or break it in any way. I was so excited when I thought of that idea, and I think it'll be really perfect for the project, and then I will be able to reuse the items afterwards when I'm done. So I just grabbed these white Christmas lights out of the attic, and I'm going to wrap the tomato cage in it. I don't really have any rhyme or reason to this. I'm just kind of going around the cage, and then I'm going to try to leave a bit of the end so that I can actually plug it in afterwards in case the outlet's not right there. The next thing is I'm going to use this old curtain that I have. It's kind of white, but it's also kind of faded and stained, so I think it'll be great for the project because you probably won't really notice the stain once it's kind of falling in the folds to make the ghost, but it's not something that I would really use on a window just because of the quality of it at the moment. And then I'm going to try to balance this little pumpkin and kind of drape the fabric to make it look how I want to. This pink pumpkin is actually a ceramic one that we had bought last year maybe, or a few years ago, and my girls had fun painting them for decorations for around the house. And then I have some leftover black felt I cut circles out of for the eyes, so I had both of those things as well. And then I just went at it with hot glue. I think more glue would have made it more stable, but I'm really happy with how this turned out, especially considering that I didn't have to purchase anything or buy any new craft supplies. It was all things that I already had on hand, and it's super cute, and the kids really liked it, and I think it's really cute for Halloween. The next project I want to do is using this air dry clay that I bought. I wanted to do some handprints of my kids. Now that we have the baby and he's a bit older, I really like doing handprint projects with all of them just because they're such different ages and sizes, and I know that in the future I'll want to remember how tiny his little hands were, even though he's getting to be kind of a big boy now. So I saw this cute little ghost handprint project on Pinterest, and I thought it would be really cute to make like a Halloween kind of garland with ghost handprints. So I had all the kids make their handprints in the clay. I rolled it out probably to about like a 1/4 inch maybe thickness, and then I had them do handprints, and I carefully cut around the handprints. And then I made sure to not forget to make a little hole at the top of each one so that I can later poke string or ribbon through it to actually make the garland. Then I'm going to let these sit and air dry for a few days before we do the next step. The next step is to draw the little eyes on the ghosts, and then I'm going to find a string to string them onto. I also cut out these little kind of leaf shapes out of felt, really bring in some of that orange color. And then I'm going to hang it up on this little spot in my kitchen. I do have a gingerbread man wreath that I typically hang here for Christmas, so I thought it would be fun to have something for the fall season as well. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's so cute, and it really brings those fall colors into the room, and yet it's so simple and not overwhelming. I love decorating with things that are more personal, and so this one that my kids made, their little handprints, is just really special, and I'm excited to have it and be able to use it in the coming years. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I decorate my house for the fall season. Before you go, I would love it if you will like and subscribe to my channel down below. If you ring that little bell button, you'll get notified every time that I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. Happy decorating, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.